everyone, it's Loralie again, and I thought that I would just make a follow-up video to the Snow Lady video and kind of chat my way through all these projects I have done with the basic information like the measurements, the materials, and little tips that I know that you might be interested in. So thanks for coming, and I hope you will enjoy this project follow-up video. I've got my little list here so I won't forget anything, and I'm going to start with the coaster. So I like coasters. I think they're just the most fun because they're such a small project, and what a great gift idea to make up 4 or 6 and wrap them in a little piece of ribbon. These are the ones that have the characters on them. They're so cute with the little snow lady faces on them, but I want to show you that they're just delightful in a plain all over pattern, and these are the blocks from the medley panel, the Snow Lady medley panel, and they're just you can mix them up just to make a great holiday table. So I use this is Pellon. It is a featherweight apparel interfacing. It costs about $3 a yard. It's not expensive, and this is what I use for the kind of the stiffener and the base. And I use my scraps. This is a great way to use your quilt, your batting scraps. So I use regular, I believe it's 80-20 cotton batting, and this is the pattern. And there's a little trick because when it comes to the 5-inch blocks, they have a border around the edge, and I don't want to use up that border with the binding. I want to preserve as much of that block as I can. So I have a little trick here. I cut the block out, which is a 5x5, and then I actually cut the batting and the interfacing a little bit bigger, like just hardly a quarter of an inch bigger all around. And then I cut the backing, the backing and the binding, and when you fold that over and stitch it down, it will come right over there and be perfectly good for that edge, but you will preserve as much as you can of that 5-inch block. So that's my trick for that. Now the measurement on the coaster back, which is the batting and the stabilizer, is 5 5/8 inches, and the backing, which is the fabric and the binding, is going to be 8 inches square. So those are the measurements and the materials for the coaster. Now I will move on to the towels. I just love these towels. They are so much fun. They're just so rewarding to make this little towel. And these are, like I said, great little blank towels from allaboutblanks.com. And I simply measure the width of the towel. I cut my border from my strips, and I think there are 9 different borders, so you can make 9 towels out of about 20 inches of border. So it's very economical. It's great for you ladies if you would be selling things or giving away stacks of things or hostess gifts. They're just terrific. So what you do is you sew the rickrack absolutely right on the edge of that. You cut between the borders equally, and that will give you about a quarter inch, and then you sew the rickrack absolutely on that edge, and even a little bit over, because you want to save as much as that nice rickrack as you can. And then you turn it under like that, and you get this fabulous rickrack edge on both sides. And then you simply place that 4 inches down. Here's my blank towel here. Measure 4 inches down, up from the bottom, which is what I like. That's the proportion that I like. And stitch it down very close, right on top of the rickrack, and turn those edges. You're going to cut it 1 inch wider, so you're going to turn that 1/2 inch under on the edge and top stitch it real tidy. So that's the towels, and you can just make those all day long. They're so much fun. Now the next thing is the rug mug. Let me make sure I told you everything there. So we have the mug rug, which is pretty well self-explanatory. It's the same as the coaster. I use the interfacing for the backing, and I use 1 layer of batting, and then I have a little strip of rickrack in there, which I put on in the same fashion as I do with the towels, and then I bound it from the back. And those happen lightning fast and are just a delight. I love to see the different ways that they come out. And the next thing is the placemat. Yes, I found this to be just really thrilling this time around. Like I said, I made this one 18 wide by 13 high. I felt it was a little bit imposing, maybe just a little bit big. So I simply bobbed off the corners at 3 inches and got this perfect little placemat here. So I'll show you how I did that. It's just real simple. I cut my backing, same stuff. This is the interfacing. And I just fold it in force like so. And then I found 3 inches, which is right there and right there. Down like that. Fold it. And this doesn't have to be perfect. Chop it off. Then you have this wonderful, more friendly placemat base. Okay, then I take one of the larger blocks from the larger block panel, and I just lay that on there at an angle, just a happy angle. You could do it straight too, but you know, why would you want to do it straight? I like to have everything kind of bopping around, you know, so this is a little boppy snow lady there on an angle. And I think about it just a little bit, not too much. I don't ruminate, work this over too much, because you can get seized up that way. So I think, let's see now, I want this to kind of have a flare going like this, and a flare going like this, and a top going like this, and a bottom. So I think I'm going to have to do it this way, this way, and then that way. And so I just start in with my strips like so. I have an assortment of lovely Christmassy strips. And I start up, I would say from this side, I go boom, 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 boom like that, and always angle them. Just start kind of at the same spot and angle them over, and that way you'll get an interesting flare effect. And then do this, and then when you finish up you'll only need to do these from here, because you're going to come across like this. You'll finish up with this really nifty floor effect like this, you see? So I started here, I went like this all the way up, and all the way up, and all the way over, and then I put my floor in underneath. See my little floor tiles there? So that's the way I do those. And then of course I cut the backing about I call it a fat inch. It's just a little much of a fat inch bigger, and I turn that, and you'll find that these angled corners are actually easier to do than the 90-degree corners. So that's the great placemat happening. I hope you will have fun with those. I would love to see a table with 6 or 8 of those, all different. Wonderful napkins, you know, what would be a great napkin fabric might be what a fabulous napkin fabric with a nice gold napkin ring. How fun would that be? So that's my vision for Christmas. Alrighty, next we have the apron. Yes, there's not too much to say about that. It's about the same thing. You just create these are pockets. These are going to be pockets made with about, well, when it's a block, you use 3 or 4 blocks that fit on there and make them into pockets. So you put the rickrack on, and then you put your lining on, flip that down, and then you sew the whole thing onto the back and flip it up. Make your pocket stitching, do the sides, turn over, and run your tie through there. It's just very simple. This is about 18 inches. I thought it was maybe a little frumpy looking. It could be shorter and be a little perkier. So, but this would certainly cover more if you're real sloppy in the kitchen. And then, let's see, after the apron I have my cards. Yes, the cards are lots of fun. They are, I know I have a little cutout here, yes. This is one simply done with Heat and Bond, which is like so. And I use Heat and Bond Light, which is a pink package, but I haven't been able to get that lately, but this works fine too. This is Ultra Hold, so I go from light to Ultra Hold. It really doesn't matter much. So here is the 5x5. Like I said, it fits in a CD envelope, and you can put the person in the window and then address it on the back, and that works well. You maybe have to trim it down just a little. And then this is the 4x5, which there's a whole strip of 4x5 blocks in the medley panel, which can be trimmed and made into an invitation size card and put that in an invitation size envelope. And then this, I just thought this was really fun. This is from Fussy Cutting, from the larger block, from the larger block panels, and you just make a wonderful, basically iron-on applique that you can put on anything, like your shirt maybe. How fun would that be? Put that anywhere, and that's just a blast to do that. And then this is more like the whole back of the block, everything but the border. And this is the same thing, so those are lots of fun to do. And then I have my pillowcase, which is 20 by 30, and has the very same treatment of the border on it with the rickrack and turned up, and then I've done a French seam inside, so it's real super nice and clean in there, and very simple and quick to do. And then I'll tell you a little bit about the quilts. This one is made from the medley panel. These are the 5x5 inch blocks. It has, it is 8 blocks wide or high, one or the other. Anyway, it comes out to 41 by 43, so it's a nice size for your lap there with your little puppy or your little kitty sitting on your lap for Christmas. And it has a 3-inch sashing, and I like to finish the binding myself by hand. I think it just makes it seem like a lovely, lovely item. And so this, like I said, this is done without using any of the faces from the snow ladies. This is just the all-overs of the holly and the poinsettias and all the lovely Christmas imagery. And I made the faces into coasters. So that's that one. And then this one I especially like. I like to use this white for a change on the sashing, which is 3 inches. And this one finishes at 42 by 44, so it's a tiny bit bigger, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a panel is going to be, one panel, which is 24 by 43, is going to have 3 blocks plus the border. So you're going to cut the border off. That would make a great towel or something. So you're going to use a panel and 2 rows of blocks, and that'll give you all those blocks to make cards or coasters or anything you want. It's wonderful to work with. I had more fun with this, I think, than almost anything. Of course, I always think that when I'm in a new collection, but this is really super special, and it's so simple and fun and sweet, and it just makes you smile. And I put my fun tossed snow ladies on the back, which I really like with that snow effect of those dots there. Snow effect, yes. It'll have a snow effect on you and on your heart. So I hope that this has been interesting to you and that you can use some of this information, especially for you ladies who make things for, like church fundraising or for benevolence or for gifts. And whenever you want to make a volume of things, these small projects are really, really nice because they go really fast. And you can't miss when you have this cute, cute little mug like that on it. How could you miss? So have fun making those Christmas projects, and it's been fun sharing them with you. See you next time here at Loralie Designs.